All right. Next one. What makes a great NCO? And for those of you not in the military, an NCO is a non-commissioned officer. The military is broken into two basic pathways of advancement and of existence. There's officers who are like the managers and the leaders, and then there's the enlisted guys, which are the grunts, but then as they get promoted through the ranks, you eventually become what's called the senior enlisted advisor. And if you think about Hollywood movies, the way they always categorize these two is you've got the young junior officer fresh in Vietnam, fresh out of the academy, and then you got the salty old gunnery sergeant. That's the two. So the NCO is the enlisted side of that. And NCOs, they always say, is like the backbone of the Marine Corps is the NCO. The chiefs run the SEAL teams is the statement, right? Because the chiefs are the guys that'll be at a SEAL team, especially in the old days, be at a SEAL team for 8 years. So you are the continuity and you get raised. So the question is, what makes a great NCO, and who is or was the best NCO you know?
Well, for me, what makes a great NCO or a chief is, I don't think you can just do it. I think it's, I'm not saying I'm a great NCO, but I did have great NCOs who taught me a lot. And they brought me up, and they put their foot square in my rectum when I needed it. And they also took their time to explain things to me when they could see in my eyes. I was nodding my head yes, but I didn't grasp it. And they're like, I'm going to do it this way. And they would work around my, for lack of a better word, learning disabilities. Because, some of the stuff you can't, when you're a new guy, you're just like, yes, chief, all right, chief. And they're like, no, dummy, relax. Here's how you do it. And that leadership style went a long way with me, and I never forgot it. Who's the best NCO you've had or ever known? And, man, there's so many guys that it's not one. I can't say their names because, it's not cleared. But that's a good thing about nicknames sometimes. I think I'll have to say overall, Mr. Fack was probably the best one I ever had. And he was just an old school, hard-ass son of a bitch. But he was fair as all hell. He was fair, and you always knew where you stood with him. And I love that. That's what I tried to do later on. Like, I didn't want to go hard, and then totally take another direction and just be, like, easy on the guys so they like me. I don't care. And I thought that was much easier and a better way, because mission men is how you should look at things. Put the mission first and take care of your men. But sometimes if you have to sacrifice men and you got to, you got to die for this mission. All right, roger that. Because that's the way the military is. That's what you get paid for. But yeah, Mr. Fack was probably the best one for me.
Yeah. So that's another, when I talked about you and me coming up in the teams and hanging out with the same people and being the same, but we were in a platoon together, but we did have the same guys that raised us both. Right. The same guys raised us both. And for sure, Mr. Fack, as you are calling him, was a huge influence on me. A huge influence on me. Everything I was or am, everything I was in the teams, like as far as being professional and like, hey, that all was taken from Fack. Oh, yeah. All of it was taken from him, 100%.
Me too.
And the seriousness that he put towards the job, like the gravity that he put towards the job and the gravity that he put towards the operational stuff that we just talked about, as far as, the things that we said makes up your reputation, that's what he cared about. Above anything else, that's what he cared about. And so, for sure, working for him, and that's why when we actually started working together, and I'm just realizing this right now. I guess I made sense of it before, but when we started working together, that's why we had the same thoughts and things. Right. Everything was like, of course we're going to do that.
It's like when we were bounding back one time somewhere in Iraq, and we didn't even have to say anything to each other. We're just like, cover and move. Yeah, cover and move. Go. But one thing real quick about an NCO, one of the best I ever had. Another sea daddy of mine, and I can say his name because rest in peace, Tim Farrell. Tim Farrell was a big influence on my life. I mean, he was a wicked good operator. I don't know anybody who's a tougher guy in the teams.
Yeah.
He's just a hard hitting guy, and he's a really good dude, man. Really good guy.
And he was awesome at everything.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
He was awesome at everything he did. He'd beat you at everything.
Yeah, he would beat guys in the swims, and he wasn't wearing fins, and they were. I mean, he was just an incredible athlete.
Yeah, an incredible athlete. And by the way, it's not like a guy that was like, well, I didn't get my workout in today. So
No.
He didn't care about anything.
Son of a gun.
He was like, oh, just get after it.
Just
everything. Yeah. Tim Farrell, for sure.
Was a great guy. Man.
What a frog man he was.
He certainly was.